Or if I should just put my beanie on top of my headphone. Doesn't really work. It doesn't work. Hey. We're getting booted up here. It's time to get the party started. Hey, Casey. Hello. Terabyte. No. Oh, snow or no? I was like, no. What do you mean no? QOD. I got you now. Snow or no? It's well timed. A lot of us are seeing snow right now. We're getting ready to. Kathy Joe, thank you for the share. Greatly appreciate it. At least. Yeah. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Joyful Stranger. Work has your brain melting out of your ears. Hey, I hear you. Love only. Member of the Gosh Heck fam for 11 months. Holy cow. Fame, Piotr, Miri, Laura. Thanks so much for the love there, Piotr and Kristen. First goal here is 3K bolts to get Candy Thunder up here. That is first goal. Also, we have a very special guest with us today. Beer Today is in the studio, who has a birthday in a couple of days. And we're going to be celebrating his birthday on the stream today by firing some confetti cannon at him. Mary, thanks for the share there. Jennifer Lynn with the share as well. Doodles Dragon. Heck yeah. Brooke Noe. More snow? Beer Today? More snow. Yeah. What? It was like 5 to 9 inches this weekend, and now it's not the same. It's going to be cold as all heck, though. Colder than a mother-in-law on her child's wedding day. Denise Burkhardt, thanks for the share there. Greatly appreciate it. Jill, Jenny Lee, thanks so much. No snow, but want it. No snow yet. It's coming this weekend. Yeah. Do you like snow, though? Say yes to snow or to snow. Tony Sparks' feelings on snow are very well known. He's yeah. If he can't be out on the boat, living it up in the heat, he doesn't want it. No to snow, Miss Krish. We still have a little tiny bit on the ground here too, but it's mostly melted away. We are going to get some more this weekend though. It's just going to be so freaking cold. So cold. Vote sunshine. Only love it on Christmas. Jilly 5. Ellie, thanks for the share. I greatly appreciate that. We're going to get started here momentarily. Subak is pretty to look at, but it's a pain to clean up. Yeah. I think if everyone could maintain their composure while they drove through it, that would be helpful. Subak with the share there. Sazarus with the share there as well. Thanks so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Barb loves the snow, but you live in Vegas, so, yeah. Gemma with the share there too. Wonder Woman, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it. Mags, never seen snow. Doodles, can't answer without getting censored. Oh, gosh. Oh, my. Candy Thunder with the share there. She's in the studio today, too. Len, you love snow from the phone or TV screen. I get it. Maria with the share. Christian Museum Girl with the share there as well. Thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it. Pennsylvania gets hit and people around here freak out. Fane, I think people everywhere freak out. I was talking to somebody in Dallas the other day, and it's, if the weather just gets down below like 40, it doesn't even have to snow. I think people freak out. Beth Lou with the share there. Michelle with the share there as well. Aaron, thanks so much for the share. Greatly appreciate it. TC Tay Halls with the share there too. Dolby Potter, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it. Carry of Sand, no snow. Hey, Tony Spark will trade you in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. Lauren B, Melantarb, Dane, Jessica, Dana Dane, and Jessica, thanks for the shares there too. Barb, Jessica, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it. Look at snow while enjoying a beverage by the fire. Ms. HH, yeah, I get it. Snow off and on. Mountains over snow. Oh gosh, nocturnal metal. Wow. The silence of snowfall. I just like to get some slow-mo video of snow falling. It's fun. Mary, have it, yes, like it sometimes. Silverstorm, Pam K, Sugar Skull, Ms. H.H. Fane, TNPA, WNA with the follow there. Thanks so much for that. Alicia, welcome to your first stream. Glad to have you here. Grim, Penny Haas, Silverstorm, the Effulgent One, Suan, RT, Effulgent One again. Trini Marie, Pauline, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Speak of No Evil with the lightning bolts there too. Overkill, Mill, Amber, L, Hickey, Mags, Candy Thunder with the lightning bolts there. We are lightning bolt focused right now. We're at 841 of 3K to get Candy Thunder up here. Trini Marie Grimm, Tony Spark, Trini again, A Flower, Sarah Marshall, Vagina, Anna Embracker, Candy Thunder, Grimm with the marvelous there. Overkill, Mill, Pam K, Amber, L, Hickey. Thank you guys so much there. Andromeda Amber, Sarah Marshall. Mary, I like driving in it if I'm the only car on the road. Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the WRX days, I had a lot of fun in snow. Controlled fun, of course. Fane, thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate it. Nisi says no to the snow. Trini Marie, first time here at the beginning of the stream. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Currently have snow with sub-zero temps predicted, Amanda says. Yeah, us too. Not looking forward to the single digits and the negative temps. Rebecca sending the gifted sub to Universal Creation 87. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. And Rebecca, thanks so much for sending that out. Greatly appreciate that. Elise, Dana Dane, J Boogie, Ellen, Betts Lou, Brannigan Minotti, J Boogie, Shan, Darla K, Lauren B, Fiolter, Sarah Marshall, Andromeda Amber, Grim, Overkill Mill. Thanks so much for the love, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Tigger, see you there as well. 1,200 to 3K. Let's go ahead and get our party started here, shall we? Welcome to today's show. Glad to have you here. QOD today is snow or no. We'll be talking about that a little bit more as we do some thanks for gift goals and that kind of thing. Again, the first one is 3K lightning bolts to get Candy Thunder up here. After that, we'll be bringing my brother from another mother, Mr. Beer Today, James, up to celebrate his birthday before he leaves town here. We had to bring him in. Coming up today, I guess I can't say today. I always forget. I've only been doing this intro for, a year? Still can't get it right. There's a preview about today. Coming up, we have stories about wedding invite drama, carjacking in-laws, fired babysitters, family name drama, stepdaughters caught stealing, birthday gift drama, family vacation drama, and spicy stories, and cake reward stories. First goal again today is 3K bolts to get Candy Thunder up here. A couple of notes before we get started into our first story. We did record a new Dusty Thunder podcast with Bree, a.k.a. Sassy Merlot, just a couple of nights ago, and that is in edit already. It'll be coming out soon. Piano Man Part 3 editing is also in progress for those of you who are following that along. If you have not subscribed on the YouTube site already, definitely suggest doing that. We are pushing more videos out per day there now already. Plus, that's where you'll get podcast, Piano Man, that kind of thing too. So if you haven't done it, definitely go do it. You can find the link in Linktree or just search Dusty Thunder over on that side. And let's get started here. Kat, Dana Dane, Kat, you are enough, Cyber, with the lightning bolts there too. Jilly 5, Kat again there. Mandy, subscribe for 1 month. Words are hard. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam, Mandy. Ann Embracker, Cruel Intentions, Tanya D, OK Rap, Justina, Denise, Candy Thunder, Aaron, Bobby Joe Crossnow with us for 6 months as a member of the Gosh Heckin' fam. Heck yes. Myra, Midnights, Tigger, Mary, Lauren B, Aaron, Brannigan, Elise. Thanks so much, guys. Greatly appreciate the love there. Sergeant Mac, good to see you there. Love and Angel, Cruel Intentions, Jessica Dietrich. That's probably the better way to say it. Beer Today with the cheer you up. Thanks so much for that, man. Greatly appreciate it. You are enough. Louise McKenzie, Overkill Mill. Thanks so much, guys. We're going to dive into our first story here. And we are at 2250 of 3K right now. Our first story today is a follower submitted story, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Inviting the Girlfriend of My Fiance's Close Friend to Our Wedding? Girlfriend of fiance's close friend. Okay. Got it. Back in December 2020, I, 19 female, met my boyfriend, Chris, 22 male. We are 22 and 25 now, who moved from out of state, and things progressed well and quickly. A few months into our relationship, a friend of his, we'll call Sarah, moved to the same state as us. We hung out with her in group settings a couple of times, but she stopped reaching out because she kept asking Chris to go hang out and not inviting me. That's never good. He went the first time, but after that, I wasn't comfortable with it, so he kept declining, and she got annoyed, it seems. Now I have to introduce 2 more people, Brad and Chelsea. These were longtime friends of Chris who were dating. It is important to note that Chris was friends with Chelsea first through work, and then Brad joined the same company. Well, now we can fast forward to 2022, and Brad and Chelsea are going to be moving to the same state as us, just an hour away, because Brad got a new job opportunity. He moved first with Chelsea, set to follow him within a month or 2. Before Chelsea was in the state, Brad came to visit, and he was a sweet guy, but once she joined him, we didn't hear from them for a good few months. When we finally did hear anything, it was when Brad texted Chris to tell him they'd be down in our city to visit Sarah, since she's a good friend of Chelsea's. The text, however, was not an invitation. He wanted to tell us ahead of time in case there were pictures posted on social media. He then said we weren't invited because Chelsea had heard things about me from Sarah, and she just didn't care. Oh, OP is in chat. Heck yes. Bella Vera. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for claiming your story there, OP, Bella Vera. Yeah, let's see where it goes. Candy Thunder, are you on top of the heater? Will you knock that off, please? Okay. I forgot to turn down the thermostat. The heat's kicking on here, being a bit noisy. I'll start that paragraph again. He then said we weren't invited because Chelsea had heard things about me from Sarah, and she just didn't care to meet me. I was annoyed, but I had heard things about Chelsea too and wasn't really dying to meet her, so I shrugged it off. I did, however, tell Chris that if he planned on proposing soon, I'd have to meet her beforehand or she wasn't going to be invited to my wedding, and he agreed. Well, in April of 2023, we announced our engagement, and to no one's surprise, Brad and Chelsea reached out wanting to hang out. I told Chris that I had already decided she couldn't come to the wedding, but if she wanted to try to develop a friendship for down the road, we could hang out. Eventually, Chris told Brad that he was invited, but Chelsea was not. Brad said he understood and that he'd talk to her and get back to us. This was probably 3 months before the wedding. Now it's about 3 months after the wedding, and we have never heard anything back. My now husband Chris understands and isn't mad at me, but I feel like I got in the way of him having his friend there. So am I the astronaut? We're 22 and 25 now. Okay, I've got to recap some. Before we do that, we hit the bulk goal so we can get Candy Thunder up here as well. Let's give some thanks for this real quick. Mama Joe leading the board here. Elise Newman, A.K. Mary, you are enough. Kimberly P, Overkill Milk, Prep Girl, Cruel Intentions, Sergeant Mac, Lab Pug Love, Sapphires 96, Sue Ann 257, RJ HJ1, Brannigan Minardi, Amber L Hickey. This window is completely different now. It's like I can't scroll. Why can't I see everything? This is not ideal. Tony Spark, Pancake, Candy Thunder. It's not letting me see everybody. This is a pain. They've made an update, and now I can't see. If I am missing you here, guys, deepest apologies, but I'm powerless to see what's going on. What a pain that is. Ah, here we go. Tony Spark with the save here. We'll go ahead and read through this again. Mama Joe, Elise Newman, A.K. Mary, you are enough. Cyber, Kimberly P, Overkill Milk, Prep Girl, Cruel Intentions, Sergeant Mac, Lab Pug Love, Sapphires 96, Sue Ann 257, RJ HJ1, Brannigan Minardi, Amber L Hickey, Tony Spark, Pam K, Candy Thunder, Deriego, Christy Pope, Not That Ellen, Rose Vampire Cosplay, 10th Anniversary, Snowman Collector, Fane 13, Jelly 55, Bets Lou, Piotr, Curves, Tanya D, AKAT, Boo 77, Ann M. Bracker, Trini Marie, Oro T-Bird, Kaz Dragon, Justina Jones Fazy, Pausies, Blessed Wonder Woman, Nat Ford, the Bearded A, Denise Burkhardt, in for DHIA, Nadia, El McKenzie, the Effulgent One, and Tawaz 26, or Tawaz 26. Thank you, Tony Spark. Greatly appreciate the save there. Look at this. It's just, this is all it shows me. It shows me like the first 15 people, and I can't scroll any further, and I can't make this window bigger. Good job with the update, TikTok. Nailed it. All right, let's go ahead and bring Candy Thunder up. We'll have her jump in with some feedback on this as well. Oh, I got to set the next goal up real quick. Sorry about that. Let's do that right quick. This next one is going to get Bearded A up here for a happy birthday appearance and confetti. set up the new goal. Beer today. B-Day celebration. And this one is going to be... Oh, where have they gone? Oh, don't tell me this. It's not that easy, love. We have 600 donuts to get Beer Today up here to sing happy birthday or to shoot confetti at him at the very least. Let's get her up here.
Did you kill the QOD?
No, not yet. I'll do it after we meet that one.
Okay.
Trying to mess up the system here. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Thunder.
I had to.
Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder. You gotta scoot up more.
Okay, I had to go back and reread the story really quick because I missed like a chunk of it when I was answering questions.
Go ahead and flip over to that other doc in case we need to go back and reference some things here. So names, I need some reminding on here.
Okay, so Sarah was trying to hang out with OP's boyfriend,
Chris,
and she put a stop to it, which is normal because you either hang out with the couple or not at all if you weren't friends before. And then Chelsea and Brad are a couple, and Chelsea heard stuff from Sarah, and so Chelsea doesn't want to be friends with OP because of what she heard from Sarah.
Right.
Okay, that's what I got from it.
Okay.
So correct me, OP. I know you're in chat, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think women need to stop assuming things about each other and just ask, because when you assume things, like what's the saying? It makes an ass out of you and me, and I feel like you and Chelsea might have been able to be friends, but you both took what you had heard about each other and drew an opinion, and that was final. And I feel like if we just stop saying, oh, I've heard this, draw a conclusion for yourself and don't listen to what other people say. You can take into account what they say, but make your own opinion, form your own thoughts. We have to stop. Women have to stop being mean to each other and stop putting each other down. And this is a prime example of where like these two women haven't even met yet, and they already don't like each other because of what they've heard from another person. And I think that sucks.
Which, if you look at this from the high level, I mean, that was orchestrated by Sarah, right?
For sure. I mean, obviously
Sarah pulled the strings with Chelsea to make sure that there was beef there before you guys had even met each other.
Right.
And that's something we unfortunately see a lot of, especially when you've got people who like to control people. They will create scenarios to cause conflict between two previously disconnected people just to try to make sure that they have their alliances set up and firm. This was probably more about Sarah not wanting to lose control of Chelsea or to lose her on her side, thinking if you two met, Chelsea might actually like you. And then Sarah's going to be on an island here, right? So
it's so messed up. It's so like, and you hear it, and I know like, I don't think that guys have this issue, but it sucks so bad. But I feel like if you say what you mean and mean what you say, a lot of problems between women could be solved, because it seems to me that Brad and Chris don't have issues, and their issues are with their significant others. And Sarah is causing all these problems behind the scenes, and you and Chelsea are just letting her cause those problems, and you're just adding fuel to the fire. Instead of just being like, hey, you know what? I am going to talk to Chelsea. I am going to befriend her, and I'm going to make sure that she knows exactly who I am and that she doesn't have to believe what Sarah is saying about me.
Yeah. Okay. So OP, the best way to render someone who's trying to orchestrate beef between two other people powerless is to do exactly what Candy Thunder is saying. Sorry, boob grace. I felt it. Is to do exactly what Candy Thunder is saying and ignore it and draw your own conclusions. And right. I mean, this is just an added petty benefit, but her blood would boil if you and Chelsea ended up becoming friends here. Part of it feels like, OP, I don't know that you care that much, except for feeling guilty because it affected your partner, right? And
right.
You may not care to be friends with these people other than that, and that's fine too. And it kind of seems like, you had this drama avoidance plan where you had heard things about Chelsea, and her connection to Sarah was just like, it's not worth the effort to the risk isn't worth the effort of trying to befriend someone who has already made up their mind that they don't like me because of somebody else's word. And I understand that. I completely understand that. It also seems like Chris doesn't really care either. He says it's not a big deal. I know you feel guilty now, like you're making him lose friends, but guess what? If his friends weren't willing to warm up to you, weren't willing to give you a chance, weren't willing to meet you, then they made the decision about their friendship with him.
Agreed.
So I don't think you're responsible for that. There was another option, and that option would have been you're going ahead and meeting Chelsea anyway, but they gotta sound like shitty people, and they made the decision. It's not your responsibility to do that. It would have been possible, but it's not your responsibility to do that.
I agree. And I think extending the invite, were Chelsea and Brad engaged?
I think aren't they a married couple or just a couple? Or?
I don't know if it said, but I mean, extending an invite to Chris without a +1 if they aren't married would have. You knew what you were doing, but I mean, you don't want drama at your wedding. And if you don't know the person, and she said she would give her a chance down the line if she wanted to, like, actually put effort into having a friendship down the road, then I don't think you're in the wrong. I think it sucks that people taint other people's opinion of someone without ever having met them. And I think that part is that's what sucks the most.
I mean, people who taint things are halfway to an asshole anyway, right?
No, that was good. That was good. This is why I married this guy. Right there. There's
Come
jokes
on now.
like that.
Also, the Sergeant Mac conversation going on in chat where he thought this whole time that Beer Today's name was Beer Today. And every time I called it out, he thought it was Beer Today. I think it's fantastic.
Beard Today. Beer? Like B-E-E.
Beer Today.
Beer Today.
Beer Today.
That's such a great name.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's Ted's middle name.
Beer Today.
Beer Today.
Ted. Yes, Ted. Yeah. I freaking love it. It is.
It is. So, and OP is in her 20s. And so I think these are, you're going to know, like, to draw more firm lines when you get into your 30s. Like, you stop listening to the bullshit. Some women don't. Some women have it their whole life. But I think the majority of people stop listening to the BS once you get to a certain point in life. And you don't let it affect you the way that it does in your 20s.
And it kind of feels like you're halfway there because you let those people make their choices and play their petty game without engaging, right? Bearded Day. There you go. There you go, Sergeant Mac. Yeah, that's great.
You and Dustin together would make a very funny duo. I have no doubt. No doubt at all.
Yeah, dad jokes for days. All day. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes.
But again, going back to the end of this, the AITA question comes from you feeling guilty for maybe costing your husband friends. He doesn't care. And those supposed friends made their choices. So I don't think you're responsible for that. You could have, if you wanted to put extra effort into it, you could have done it differently. But I don't think you're not responsible for this.
You're NTA for 100%. I don't think you did anything wrong.
There we go. NCA. Okay. Final verdict.
Back now.
Love you, Tater.
Bye, guys.
Katie Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. Our next guest up is going to be Beer Today. We're at 198 of 600 donuts right now to get him up here and shoot some birthday confetti. Also, hey, Caden Thunder, can you toss me that confetti blaster here? Can you hand me one of the other ones too? Just the normal one. Almost got there. Okay, so this the clown on here is terrifying, by the way, but this will be birthday festivity Beer Today. And this is the normal sized one, so it better be good. That's all I'm saying. The clown on it I think they lose points for that. But let's hope that's a good one. Coat pocket hanging on the yeah. Sorry, I was just looking for the itty bitty one. I was just doing a size comparison with the big one and the normal one.
It's the perfectly average one.
This perfectly average. Yeah, okay, we'll get them all up here. I got to do smallest to largest. Boop, 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 and boop.
This is what happens when the store is out of confetti and you have to piece together confetti from places.
It's confetti grab bag here today.
It's literally.
These little ones. Like,
that's the last one. We finally threw that bag of them.
good gravy. Good gravy. Hey, Karen, thanks so much for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Animal, Lacey, Lex, Cat, OMG Cookies, Katie, Elise, Newman, Ms. Pamela L. Animal. Animal with the donuts and with the swan there. Thanks so much for that. OMG Cookies, Mary, Julia, NZ Girl, Trini Marie, Ms. Pamela Fain, Lauren B, Susan RS, NZ Girl. Thanks so much, guys. MCL USA, Julia, Lacey Lex, Sharon Day Newton, NC Girl again, Cookie, Susan RS, Cat, Just Mags, Rainbow Bright, Piotr, Nancy, Nan, Goober, LeBook Dragon, Pam K, Tony Spark. Thanks so much, guys. Greatly appreciate the love there. 372 is 6 hundo right now. So, yep, over halfway. Luis with the share, Stephanie, Cat, Jen Page. Thanks so much. Oh, the freaking Mary, the clown. You know, I just have an unnatural hatred of clowns. I don't know what the deal is. No, I don't. I love them. I'm convincing myself that I love them. Mona Francois, Zuz Q8 with the shares there too. Purple Butterflies, MKM, Barto, Katie, KRN. Thanks so much, guys. Greatly appreciate the love there. We'll go and bounce to our next story here. 408 of 600 on the Donuties right now. This story comes from the AITAH subreddit and is titled, Not Quite In-Laws Tried to Steal My Second Car. My fiance's father's car broke down and he asked if he could borrow my SUV for a couple of days. I have 2 cars and the SUV isn't my daily driver, so no big deal. Sure, borrow the car. I knew that realistically it was going to be more than 2 days and I was initially happy to help. Fast forward to now and my in-laws have had my car for 21 days. 3 whole weeks with zero communication despite my direct efforts to get an answer. My in-laws have barely said thank you, didn't offer any money, and I've asked for my car back 3 separate times. My father-in-law is horribly cheap and stubborn, and I love him, but he's been tinkering on his broken car at leisure while continuing to borrow mine. When I asked him directly when he expects his car will be working again and all parts installed, he was unable to provide any type of time frame and just said, he's working on it. He's uncomfortable talking about anything related to money aside from complaining at how expensive everything is, so I tried not to push the issue because I wanted to respect his boundaries. Today, I had my fiance tell his parents they need to give me my car back. It's no longer a choice. I want my car back. I need to use it tomorrow. Although it's not my daily driver, it's still my car and I have it for a reason. It's completely beyond my level of comprehension why I would need to explain to anyone that I would need my own property back because I have a task that I'm unable to achieve without it. It's in the kindest way possible. I'm the only person in this situation that owns 2 cars, and it's starting to feel like I'm being disrespected because they don't feel like I need it or that it's not putting me out when it is. The whole thing makes me wildly uncomfortable, and I'm low-key worried they trashed my car because we have completely different standards of living. In all of this, my fiance, their son, also has his own car. So it's like, dude, go borrow your son's car for a bit. For context, we live in the US and my fiance is the highest paid person in his immediate family and he is the youngest child. We live in a high cost of living area and are broke AF. His parents are 65 and I'm 34. Everyone works full time. Am I the astronaut for wanting my car back so I can go pick up my dog? These people are making me feel crazy. We have an update. There is an update here. However, we hit our donut goal. Let's talk about that for a second. I'm going to highlight that. Let's talk about that, and then we're going to do some B-Day festivities here. Queen Lucy leading the board here by a mile. Nice job. Glad to see you here. AK Mary in the number 2 spot. Animal 792, Megs 5030, Southern Country, Prep Girl, Kiwi Girl, T-Hef 90, Michelle Heather, Elise Newman, Ann Bracker, Ruby Redhead, Fane 13, Jelly 55, Cakey 323, Tony Spark. Do you mind bailing me out again? I can only see the top 15. I don't know what their deal is. Why? Why do they do this? But we can dance while we wait. There, perfect. Thank you. Justina, Amber L. Hecky, Tony Sparks, Susan R. Smart, Modern Valkyrie, Pam K, Nancy Gen X, Vintage 80s Lady, RJHJ1, Sue Ann 257, Mags Amazing, Nan 39, Nan 392000, OMG Cookies, Ms. Pamela L, Lacey Lex, Rebecca Barrett, Kaz Dragon, Sharon Day Newton, The Real RP, Piotr, Trini Marie, Kimberly B, Bailey Chapman. We've got Rook of Exile, Rook of Exiled in Exile. Akai Ryu, Oro T-Bird, Denise Burkhardt, Boo 77, Skittles Mad, Snowman Collector, MCL USA, Dana Dane, Candy Thunder. Thanks so much for the love there, guys. Greatly appreciate that. And you know what this means, right? Well, let me set the next goal up real quick. I can now turn my QOD off per my instructions. Let me get this next one set up. Next one is going to be for a Tony Spark appearance and a spicy reward story. Tony Spark and spicy reward story. It's going to be... I didn't even select the... They've changed the format and everything, and it's really, really messing with me. It's really messing with me. We have 25 hundo fires. And I can pin that. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do it. Let's get Bearded A up here before we finish this story, because this guy, he's been a part of this thing since the very, very beginning, and he's got a birthday coming up on Friday. Happy freaking birthday to you, brother. It's good to see you here. Jump up and say hi to everybody.
Hello. There we are.
Yeah.
This happens all the time on conference calls. I have to find my camera.
It's the game.
It's always the game. I'm like, am I looking at the screen or am I looking at the camera?
I play that game too, and I got 3 screens.
Yeah. Well, then you got lights. I don't have the fancy lights for the conference calls. Yeah, we don't have the blindings.
Yeah, we go in here for sure.
But I look pretty.
We're just sitting. Ready?
Oh, no.
Hold on.
We're good.
Oh, you got.
They're singing, if you didn't know that. This is all the singing is happening right now. I'm wearing my safety glasses because they might fire shit at me. Language.
Okay, don't be a buzzkill.
It is copyrighted.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday
Oh.
to you.
Oh, crap. Oh, hey.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Hey, at least he didn't smash it in my face.
Happy birthday, dear Bearded A. Happy birthday to you. Oh my gosh.
Blow that out.
I would like for the confetti to catch fire.
Holy goodness. That was the clown cannon was a lot.
Whoa.
It's everywhere.
It wasn't as loud.
It thankfully was not allowed.
Yeah. But it, like a ball of confetti hit the ceiling with
It did, and then
the
rained
force
down.
of Mjolnir. And
It did.
It was
At least it didn't hit my face.
that was intense, man. We always shoot it up.
I protected the cake.
We always try to shoot it up, and sometimes they'll get their confetti cannon really close to the camera when they're shooting it off, and I'm like,
Please don't break anything.
yeah. So, what is your birthday wish? What's your birthday wish? Oh, you can't tell anybody, can you?
No,
Are you a believer in that?
that'd be faux pas.
Yeah, you're not supposed to tell people what your wish is.
That you get the job.
Oh man. So doing some traveling here soon, right?
Yes. Leaving on the birthday.
Some work traveling.
Yeah.
You get to do anything fun before then, aside from freeze your ass off?
I have a lot of wood to unload from the back of my truck. Pack, laundry,
Chores.
yes.
You get to do chores for your birthday,
I get to do chores for my birthday.
and then travel, which is always
Which is what happens when you get to be old enough to not care how old you are anymore. Well, some of us are more special than others.
Oh man. Yeah. Happy birthday, beer today.
Yes, beer today.
Are you gonna have beer
And
today on your birthday?
I'm gonna have something today.
Yeah. There you go. Morgan says
Usually
I literally
involves
cleaned my entire
vodka,
house on my
yes.
birthday. Yeah. So, not yet. We've got to read through the rest of we have an update.
Oh, there's an update. Yeah.
So you heard the story to this
Yes.
point, though. So what are your thoughts on that? To this point.
To this point, I would be repoing my own car. I mean, we can ask, and then when the asking goes away, you just make it happen. So we're just making it happen. The car is coming home with me.
I have a fear that OP's partner in this situation is receiving some communication, but not clearly passing that along, or trying to act as the buffer.
That could be very true. I mean, we at least try for like the last clear message of,
yes,
hey, this is by this time, this day, here, figure the rest out on your own.
Yeah.
But I'd still repo my own car.
Do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, you got to do it. I mean, that's my car.
But I think there's got to be Kim. This is my brother-in-law.
Hey.
Yeah, it's one of my brother-in-laws. I think the one thing that I'm not hearing a lot of in this story so far is like really clear communication between these partners, because it would be, I feel like it's her husband's parents. I feel like there's a responsibility on husband here to communicate those things and to communicate the severity of the situation and be like, hey, knock the crap out. Like, we're coming to get this car now. But it doesn't seem like that's happening. It seems like OP is having to take lead and run point on that communication right now. And that feels weird.
You're probably right. And I think that's not my default, because like, that's not the world we live in, of you communicate with your partner about the things. So that lack of communication wasn't a default thought. I just assumed that those kinds of things would be conveyed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what would happen in our world.
Yeah. Yeah. But it seems like, well, if OP is having to make the communication directly to his parents, to her partner's parents, there's a bridge that's missing in there, right?
Yeah, we need to build a better bridge.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the update will clarify some things.
Let's see what the update says.
Yeah. All right, we'll dive into that.
Do it, Doug.
Thanks so much, brother.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday. Glad you were able to pop on and get some shot with some confetti and let us sing at you. Yeah, and next time we do this kind of thing, I know to wait until the candle's blown out before firing the confetti cannon, just in case. I mean, if it was like a smaller kind of sawdusty confetti kind of situation, we could have a coffee creamer kind of fireball situation on our hands, which, if you've never tried before, coffee mate being like sprinkled onto a flame becomes a fireball. Don't do it. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying it happens. It's kind of the sawdust effect. Okay, we're going to dive into the update here and see where it's going. Update, I got my car back today and my in-laws were incredibly apologetic. There's a plot twist. I didn't have to steal my car back or call the cops, but my fiance demanded I get my vehicle back, and now I better understand everything that happened. Okay, the fiance demanded. Okay. Fiance agrees that Fiance agrees that if the need presents itself again, it's up to him to be more accommodating to his folks, and I've learned a new boundary for myself. It's a win-win. I accept some level of responsibility for not putting my foot down sooner and being too nice to people taking advantage of that. Thank you to everyone that's helped me navigate the situation, and thank you for letting me know I'm not an a-hole or a crazy person. Okay, so it resolved itself. I still don't feel like we have a ton of clarification there in what happened with the communication flow here between the partner, except saying that my fiance demanded I get my vehicle back. Probably two parents. And it took to this point for that to happen. So if that's where fiance finally stepped in and was like, okay, no, this has to be resolved now because it's horseshit. It took way too long. And that's one of the problems that I have here, is that I think in these kind of situations, forcing your partner to communicate directly with your parents about a conflict without jumping in immediately and trying to facilitate that for them or mediate or do something seems like a big load of horseshit to me. And I may be reading too far into this, but because his his involvement isn't directly stated until the very end here. I feel like he dropped the ball on that. And yes, they took advantage of the whole situation, but it was probably one of those, well, until somebody forces us to do it, we're going to do it kind of things. And they did it and ran it in the ground. So hopefully that's clearer now. She says she's developed a new boundary for herself. He finally stepped in, so he understands that pain better and says, if something like this happens again, he's going to be the one that jumps in and facilitates. So it sounds like everybody's learned a lesson. The initial question of am I the astronaut not quite in-laws tried to steal my second car, and the question was basically, am I the astronaut for wanting my car back so I can go pick up my dog? Hell no. This you're 34. How long have you been together? We don't really get into that a lot. How long this relationship has been going on. And I guess it takes getting into some uncomfortable situations for solutions to be needed and to be present about communication flow. Some people are just bad at communicating, especially with family. So maybe they just never encountered anything like this before and never had a need to establish the flow of communication, but now they have it. Now they've learned the lesson, and hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. But if it does, they have at least a better plan of how to fix it. It's a better plan. Molly, good to see you in Germany there. Katie, Elise, Summer, Katie, Megs, Freckles with us for month 7 in the Gosh Heckin' fam. Heck yeah, glad to have you with us. 88 Debs, Rainbow Bright, Megs, Kim Holbrook, Silver Storm, Cat, Summer, OMG Cookies, Jilly 5, Rook, Silver Storm again there. Thanks so much for the love. Greatly appreciate it. Kelly, Elise, I see you there as well. Feel like we missed a few bullet points somewhere. It just kind of jumps ahead, and the solution here isn't very detailed, so we just kind of have to infer some things. But my big problem leading into the update being fiance's lack of involvement did resolve itself. There's just not a lot of detail into it. So hopefully this kind of thing never happens again. And they didn't really go into, they said that they were apologetic, but it's got to be a pretty hefty apology for ignoring the several times you said you wanted your car back, and maybe they expected their son to jump in sooner. I don't know. I'd be definitely hesitating to loan someone who abused my loaning them something the first time. I'd be hesitating to do it again for sure. It's the hot stove. Sarcastic unicorn. Good to see you there. Thanks so much. Amber from Netherlands. Good to see you there too. Thanks so much. Tina in Kentucky. Heck yes. We've got the diverse crowd rocking today. 2451 and 25 hundo. We're going to get there. It's going to be Tony Spark and Spicy Reward story time here shortly. Mongower, Rebecca Barrett, Granny D, K Crush, Skates Ballerina. Good to see you there. B from Australia. Melissa is in Cali. Heck yes. Nisi, yes. Nisi, one of our mods here. Welcoming. Words are so hard today. Welcoming everyone as they step in here. Callie, thanks so much there. Candy Thunder has jumped out to do the kiddo pickup game, but we'll be back here shortly. In the meantime, we hit that goal. Let's talk about it for a second. Queen Lucy leading the board there again. Megs, 5030, Modern Valkyrie, TLS Journey, Critical Attitude. I'm sorry, Critical, it's Catacat. Catacat Attitude, AK Mary, User 0507815, Prep Girl, Animal 792, Callie Prue, Southern Country, Suan 257, Curve 611, Elise Newman, Econ Laura. Down to, I don't know what their deal is with only showing 15 on this list. It's madness, I tell you. Tony Spark with the save there again. Beautiful Beans, Ruby Redhead, Pancake, Diana 5520. We've got Melissa Tonic, Mongao, Fane, Jelly 55, T Half 90, Lisa Lex, Justina, A&M Bracker, Heidi J, Rebecca Barrett, Ishtara, K Crush, Kaz Dragon, Keiki, Rose Vampire Calls Play, Sharon Day Newton, Death Skull, OMG Cookies, The Real RP2, Piotr, Vintage 80s Lady, Angel Orange, LL Costas, Alicia Suver, Amber L. Hickey. It's Ain or Annie 414, Don Nethers. Thank you guys so much for the love there. Greatly appreciate you helping us hit that goal, and we'll get the next one set up and get the one and only Tony Spark up here. This one is going to unlock a cake reward story and get a Caden Thunder appearance. It is. Gotta bop it out. It is 75 confetti. This is the goal here. I'm going to go ahead and pin that real quick, which is a new thing too. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Spark.
It's such a loud intro. If anybody who's listening with headphones or earbuds, I apologize. What's up, everybody? How is everybody? Hi, everybody. That was a lot of confetti in that.
It really was. It was a lot.
That was like 3 confetti cannons worth of confetti. It's everywhere.
I thought it was gonna punch a hole in it.
It wasn't as loud though.
You did a little bit of your Patrick Mahomes voice there. I feel like you need to give him a preview.
I mean, that was about it, everybody. That's about all I got.
Post-game press conference.
Also, the cake story is a cake crime story.
Oh.
A crime was committed involving cake.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah. Oh, how's everybody doing? Everybody staying warm out there? For those of you who are somewhere warm where you can see water or sand, I hate you.
Patrick, how do you feel like you played?
I played pretty good, but the rest of my team is just terrible. So I just do what I can for all the guys, and I do what I can.
After 13 dropped passes, were you starting to get frustrated, Patrick?
Well, I knew we shouldn't have had that movie night with all the popcorn. I guess I don't know these guys. My receivers suck, but hopefully we still beat the Bills. Sophia, I don't know if you're watching.
How do you feel about Miami right now?
I feel like Miami is should be a good game. Hopefully it's not too cold for those Miami guys. Heard Tua's not great in cold weather, so got that going for us. Hopefully the Dolphins are kind of trending down, and the Chiefs can't really trend down more than we have been. So we're just kind of what did Dusty said that we talked about how a lot of these teams are kind of becoming dumpster fires as the year goes on, but the Chiefs have been a dumpster fire all year long. So we're like used to being at that dumpster fire level, and it's going to be cold. So the dumpster fire will hopefully keep the guys on the bench warm. Guys like MVS and Tony and guys who should be on the bench the entire time and never leave the sideline. I hope that they're warm. Actually, I hope they're not. I hope they're cold and freezing their ass off on the bench where they deserve to be. But I digress. He's from Hawaii, which is why he doesn't like the cold.
Jen Page, -1 Celsius.
I don't know what that means because I'm a dumb American, but I feel like that's cold. It's what?
30 degrees.
Oh. Well, I feel like -1 makes it sound so much worse. Like it's going to be -15 here on Monday. Fahrenheit. It's going to be terrible. Oh, hey, there's Sophia. Am I going to come to Buffalo? Not a chance in hell would I go to that frozen tundra of a place.
Oh.
I mean, listen, unless you get us hooked up and we go watch the game in a suite, I would go do that. So put the call in. But
there you go.
Hopefully it doesn't get to that because hopefully, do you believe in miracles? And maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers will somehow beat the Bills this week and we won't have to worry about it. But -50 degrees. Wow. See, there you go with the Celsius again. I don't know what that means. I don't know Celsius. I don't know metric. I don't know none of that. I'm a dumb American. -55 Fahrenheit. Good God. Why would anyone live there? Why? Listen, I don't understand why. I hate living here when it gets cold. Like, I hate it. I'm like, why do we live in this stupid place that gets this cold? Okay. What do you go to Vegas in the summer and be like, but it's a dry heat? No, like 0 and negative is still 0 and negative. I don't care about dry or I'm not even going to listen.
Why do you live where the air hurts your face, Sergeant Mac?
Seriously. Yeah. Look, I am getting some hell from some of my friends that I'm being a quote unquote fair weather fan because I am not going to the game this week because I just don't think I can be that cold for that long. Now, if it was the AFC Championship game, I would suck it up and go, but
Random confetti,
but
random confetti.
It's gonna be too cold. So
the next goal.
Hey, look at that!
Would you just look at that?
The cake crime story, or is it a crime? I don't know. It's for you people.
We're gonna find out.
It's for you guys to find out. Okay. Bye, guys.
Tony
Stay
Stark,
warm,
gentlemen. I guess. Hey, stay close with your phone to bail me out again here. I don't know what that update is about, but the TikTok live studio update that only shows me 15 people on there. It's no fun. Hey, Amber L. Hickey leading the board here for this confetti goal. M. Prieto, TLS Journey Southern Country, Elise Newman, Megs 5030, Ms. Fiery Repic, Diana 5520, Ann M. Bracker, Tanya Case, TF 90, Lacey Lex, Sue Ann 257, Not That Ellen, OMG Cookies, and Ruby Redhead, Piotr, Susan R. Smart, Fang Long Talon, Pam K, Snow XTC, Vanna Destiny, Jelly 55, Prep Girl, Kimberly P, and Kaz Dragon. Thank you guys so much for the love there. You unlocked a cake reward story, cake crime story, and a Caden Thunder appearance here. We'll get into our next story. We'll go ahead and read our spicy reward story. Then we'll bring Caden up. Then we'll do the cake story. Sound good? Sound like plan? Is plan. Okay, this one is going to unlock another spicy reward story. And candy feedback. And oh dear, like everything's different. Okay, it is 2K High Bears. That's where we're at. Pinning that. There we go. 2K High Bears, and we're getting ready to dive into the spicy reward story.
I just want to say that when I sent this spicy reward, not the one he's about to read, this one is one that Candy found, but then I found this next one that the goal is for, and I believe Candy's first words were Dusty's going to destroy him, and then the second one she said let me at him. So it's a good one,
and I haven't read them, so I don't know what it's going to be, but if Candy Thunder said that, she's probably right. So not this one, right? This isn't the I'm going to destroy them one. This is okay. Make total destroy. All right, here we go. Spicy reward story number 1, ladies and gentlemen, from the AITAH subreddit is titled, Am I the astronaut for not leaving my wife so my daughter could live with me? My wife and I have been married for 7 years. We both have 15-year-old daughters. My wife's daughter has lived with her dad her entire life. My wife is an excellent mother, but her ex was moving across the country, and she knew he could give her a better life than she can. 2 years later, they moved back to his home country, approximately 12 to 18 hours from us by plane. They flew my wife out to visit them a few times a year, and they sent her to visit us during the summer vacation. He got a job approximately a half hour from us, so we've had her 50-50 for the past few months. The thing is, we have a 2-bed, 1-bath house in a good neighborhood. My daughter has had her own room her entire life, and she did not take it well when she heard she had to share. She's tried blocking my stepdaughter from their room, threw her stuff out the window, and tries to make my stepdaughter uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? That's an applicable word. Tries to make my daughter stepdaughter uncomfortable so she'll leave. Last week, my stepdaughter got here, sat on her bed, and almost immediately ran out coughing and covered in a rash. My wife had to use her daughter's EpiPen and called 911. We didn't have a car at home. She and her ex got into a fight at the hospital and she got kicked out, and her ex is refusing to allow her stepdaughter into the house. Ex is legally able to do this because he has full custody. We have a camera to monitor the dogs, and if the bedroom door is open, you can see into the girls' room. We had also just moved the camera and haven't gotten around to telling my daughter yet. We decided to check the cameras, and we saw my daughter bringing nuts into the room and eating them on my stepdaughter's bed before touching everything my stepdaughter owns. My stepdaughter is deathly allergic to nuts. Nuts are not allowed in the house, but you are allowed to eat them in the garage, and you have to scrub your hands before you come back in. My wife, understandably, was furious when she saw it. She stormed into the girls' room, started screaming at my daughter, told her to get the F out of the house. I talked to my wife into letting my daughter pack a bag, and I arranged for my brother to pick her up. My wife is adamant that my daughter is no longer allowed to step foot inside her house. We filed a police report, and the plan is for her to stay in a group home or boarding school for the next couple of years. Now my family and my daughter's mom are pressuring me to leave my wife so I don't have to send my daughter away, but I'm refusing to leave, and I agree with my daughter's punishment because she nearly killed a person and because caused my wife to lose her daughter. X isn't letting her into this house. Or X isn't letting her into his house. Now I'm being called a bad parent by everyone except my brother, who is putting her to work on his farm until we find a more permanent arrangement for choosing my wife over my kid. Am I the astronaut? Oh my gosh. This is a fustercluck of a situation. It's a mess. You know what I didn't hear throughout this that I really needed to hear was why. From the daughter. I needed to hear that they sat the daughter down and talked to her to try to understand why she was behaving this way. And obviously it's because, OP assumes it's because she has to share a room for the first time in her life, so she's doing all of these shitty, terrible things. But it doesn't sound like was ever a conversation here to really dig into, like, what is it about having this other person here? Is it just because you don't want to share? Or is it something specifically about her that do you two agitate each other? What is it? We never dove into that conversation because it never happened. And even if clearly it got to a point where there's got to be some punishment, has to be some kind of punishment. You can't intentionally try to do something that almost unalives someone and then just be like, oh yeah, I guess, well, everything's fine. No, you're 15. You're going to have some punishment for that. It is 100% not okay. There has to be a very, very, very painful lesson to create the needed change for this. However, I also feel like on top of that, there has to be some deep, deep discussion into the drivers behind that, because OP right now, you don't understand all of the motivators behind it. You don't understand what it's going to take to be able to truly fix this because you haven't dove into everything. The punishment's going to happen regardless. But if you're really trying to fix whatever these drivers were to make sure that your daughter doesn't end up back in this situation later on in life, it's going to take deep diving in here. And yes, that can be a therapy thing too, and needs to be a therapy thing too. But just having to share a room is no excuse to try to unalive someone. It is not okay. And the people in your family that are calling you a bad father, what? So the behavior is okay. It's okay to just do this and intentionally try to, at minimum, hospitalize someone, if not unalive them, because you didn't want to share a freaking room. It's got to be more than that. It has to. Please tell me it's more than that. Otherwise, you're just an evil human being. And you would like, as a parent, to think that your kid's not an evil human being. So please tell me there's a good excuse for this. Please. And that's the conversation that I didn't hear happen. And I'm like, there's got to be more of a dive in there. There has to be. The whole situation is messy for everybody involved, but the family members who are chiming in just based on their version or their perception of whatever the hell is happening here can shut the hell up and go away, because they're not helping anything. They are not contributing to a solution in any way, shape, or form, so just shut them out. Doesn't matter. Your brother is helping by putting her to work until you find some kind of more permanent thing, but there has to be, until you know what the real root of the problems are, you're not going to be able to really point a solution or put a solution in place, because you don't know how bad the problem is you're trying to solve. That's my point. It sucks. It's rough. Yes, right, Morgan. Leaving his wife isn't going to solve anything. Well, she's not going to have to share a room anymore. Well, guess what? Whatever program she gets put into, she's probably going to end up having to share a room with somebody. And that would be a good monitored solution to figure out how she handles that. And if somebody's capable of doing this, there's some evil. There's some evil there. There's got to be some great care and a very in-depth solution taken seriously here. You think his daughter doesn't like the stepmom, Rhodes says. I mean, there's got to be a lot of things going on. It can't just be sharing a room. It can't just be that. Family members are just making it worse. Agreed. The stepdaughter living there makes the relationship more permanent. Well, I don't even think she was, living close to them. So they've had her 50-50, and that's, yeah. Why did real dad kick her out? He didn't kick her out. So the daughter that was visiting, which was mom's daughter in this situation, her dad moved closer, so they had her 50-50 whenever this went down. The daughter who took the action of rubbing the nut dust all over everything, which sounds weird, but you know what I mean. The daughter who did that, and it wasn't weird until I pointed it out. Well, that's my job, ladies and gentlemen. Point out things and make it as awkward as possible. She did live with them and apparently didn't like sharing a room. Where's the other mom? Unknown. Did we even talk about that? I don't really think we got into it. Yeah, so that could be a contributor here too. So Opie's ex, whatever happened there could have something to do with this too. It's much deeper than the simple way that it's presented here, and that's part of my point. So there's a lot that's got to be done by everybody here. The question here, am I the astronaut for not leaving my wife so my daughter could live with me? No, you're not the astronaut for that. However, so on that very specific question, no, you're not the astronaut for that. But I feel like there's a lot that needs to be done on all fronts here. And yes, I agree, this isn't everyone sucks here, because to some degree, everybody sucks in this situation. There's got to be a lot more care taken to go through this and figure out what the real problem is. But this is just a mess. It's just a mess.
So OP does say that it says my daughter's mom and family are pressuring me to leave my wife. So that's the only real mention.
My daughter.
Of the mom.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's just a very casual in passing mention there too. So, man, there's a lot going on, and there's not nearly enough detail to be able to understand that OP's taking it seriously enough. But these are the kind of problems where if you don't dive in and get this person the treatment that they really need, the rest of your daughter's life is going to be really, really, really difficult. And if nothing else, this is an opportunity for you to dive in and be able to treat some behavioral issues that are going to make functioning as an independent adult very difficult later down the line. And you have the opportunity here to be able to do something about it. Bless you, Chess. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a hell of a situation. Something that I wouldn't ever want to be a part of here. Do we want to bring Cade and Thunder up now and then dive into Cake Story? Or do we want to dive into Cake Story and then bring Cade and Thunder up? Got to get directions from Mr. Producer here. Okay. Before we do that real quick, Shinryota, Nan 39 2000. And classic anime queen, Kitty Doll, Chef Mel, Fei Fei, Deidre, Chef Mel again, Caprice, Deidre, Piezzo, 24, Chef Mel, Lauren B, Fell Hermit Fairy, Bailey Chapman, Krista Porter, Bearded A, Diana Galvin, Southern Country, Candace A, subscribe for the first time. Welcome to the Goshak fam. Sue Ann, Southern Country, thanks so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Ron Brenza with the fireworks and Skate Ballerina with the rose. Thanks so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Let's bring up the one, the only, Cade and Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen. I turned it down.
Hello. Welcome to my stream. How's everyone doing? It's me. KT Beans. Caden Thunder. With the beans. Hello. Caden's tired too.
Caden Thunder, how do you feel about the recent snow and cold? You can talk to that one. This one's pretend.
Oh. Ice. It's very icy.
Ice, baby.
Ice.
Whenever it's negative degrees outside, do you plan on doing anything outdoors?
Going indoors.
What do you plan on doing indoors when it's negative 5 degrees out this weekend?
Laying down.
Very exciting. Thank you.
This is how I would do an interview. If one of you found me out in public, you should interview me and I'll give you answers like that. You ever seen that Travis Scott interview where the interviewer is asking him questions and he just goes, belt. All of his answers, just belt. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? It's me.
Mrs. Maggs, for those of you who are first timers here or don't know yet, this is my son, Caden.
This is his son, Caden.
That's what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
He's fun.
Mm-hmm. Does your nose ring make your nose even colder in this type of weather? It does kind of get colder. Yeah, I guess so. I can't itch it as much because if I itch it, this thing will go all over the place. I've had it for a few years though, so it's not too bad, but definitely makes it more dry in the cold weather. Yeah, my ear piercings. I'm 21 years old. My opinion on the last story, I think Dusty did a good job talking about it.
You know what though? Here, while you're up here, stay here for a second.
I'll stay up here for a second.
Let me lean over and grab the mouse real quick though. Tony Spark just let me know that we have some OP comments now too from that last story, so it might clarify a little bit. Okay, so OP comments. She just didn't want to share. My stepdaughter is a good kid. She wasn't causing any problems. My wife was spending more time with her daughter, which is understandable because she has not lived with my wife since she was an infant. I'm not pushing her out to make my wife happy. She did something unforgivable, and our main focus right now is trying to show my stepdaughter's dad that she will be safe here and that this will not happen again, so he might let my wife see her kid again. This isn't the kind of thing that we can force her to apologize for, take her phone for a couple of weeks and pretend it's better. She nearly unalived my stepdaughter. We never had any problems before this. She never got into trouble at school except for normal teen stuff like not doing homework, being on her phone, and having an attitude with her teachers. None of this was happening regularly. Never gave us any reason to believe she would do something like this. What alternate arrangements would you suggest? We had 2 kids in the house and 2 bedrooms, one for them and one for us. We have 1 living room and 1 kitchen, no basement. Were we supposed to send my stepdaughter back to her dad's because my daughter didn't like her here? Make her sleep on the couch because my kid didn't want to share? There's some additional context. So, Caden Thunder, what do you think about this?
What was the age of the daughter?
15.
15?
They're both 15.
Okay, so that's pretty old. That's old enough to know not to try to unalive someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty unforgivable thing to do. I feel like if it was a younger child who did something, maybe, you know, if they didn't have a comprehension of what they were doing, then I could understand that. I mean, not understand, but understand why they did it, but that could be corrected and it could be something that they could be taught to never do again. In this case, that's something that needs some serious correction, because if they continue down that path, it's not. I mean, most people that end up real messed up, they show signs of it as a child and a teenager. So that's honestly something you need to. I don't know. I'm just a guy.
I'm just a guy in the world.
I'm just a guy, you know. That's definitely not cool. And if you want to know my opinion, I think that it's not something that you should do.
Yes. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right. I'll dive in and talk about it a little bit more. Caden Thunder, everybody.
You're welcome.
Hey-oh. That's the wrong direction, desk. It was going down. We don't want it going that way. Okay, so I think this does clarify a little bit, and I see a lot of comments here about needing more room, or I don't think you can penalize a parent for being in a situation where kids have to share rooms. First of all, the arrangement was a fluid one where it was changing. So things changed, and things changed again, and then they end up having the opportunity to have wife's daughter 50-50 here and have her in their life more. Not many people could be like, oh, awesome, let's just add a bedroom or add a bigger house or do whatever. I don't think we can penalize them for that. It's, economic conditions are what they are. They had the ability to spend more time with her daughter. Why not to do it? And if sharing a room part-time, this is not a full-time thing. It was a 50-50 thing. So sharing a room part of the time is a bad enough pain for this 15-year-old girl to try to unalive someone. She definitely needs to be taught a harsh lesson, because she's going to experience much more in life it's much worse than having to share a room a few days per week with someone. And if she's going to react this harshly to something like that, more is going to come along in life that she's going to react really poorly to as well. And this has to be addressed now. I do feel a little bit better about OP's position here, and maybe it's not an everyone sucks anymore. The daughter lives an Ascon one right now. She absolutely does. You cannot do that to someone just because you have to. It doesn't matter what the reason is, unless it's in self-defense. But you probably wouldn't use nut dust for self-defense, right? It was a malicious thing. I mean, you could use nut dust for malicious intent. No, for self-defense, but. No, it was malicious. This was a malicious intent kind of thing. She knew exactly what she was doing, and there are some issues that have to be worked out there. I'm sorry. Judge is like, what was the weapon? Your Honor, it was nut dust. Your Honor. Okay, now we are ready for the cake reward story, I believe. Mr. Producer Tony Spark, is that correct? Cake story? Awesome. Diving in. Here we go. This is the cake reward story. Before we dive into that, we are at 680 of 2K on the high bears right now, which is for another spicy story and Candy Thunder feedback. Donna DJ 12661, Christian Museum Girl, Leslie Alvarez, Victoria Wallstrom, Candace A, Sharon Day Newton, Aaron, Kat, Kimberly P, Leslie Alvarez, Kat, Victoria Wallstrom again, Alicia, Lisa Haynes, Tupac, holy cow, it's Tupac, TLS, Heather Dixon Grimes, Shelly Houston, thank you guys so much. Annie Butcher, Lacey Lex, see you there as well. Taywaz, see you there too. Rebecca Barrett, subscribe for month 2. Glad to still have you in the gosh heckin' fam. Let's rock and roll. Cake reward story time. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Stealing Someone Else's Cake? This is the cake crime story. Man. Collins, I'm glad you're here for your very first live. Heck yeah. Here's how this story goes. Hey, Dusty, longtime follower, and I love the content. I have already decided that I am the Astronaut on this, but I know everyone loves cake stories, so I thought I would send mine in. My husband's birthday snuck up on me this year. Usually I try to put together a party, get together at the very least, make him a nice dinner and bake him a birthday cake. Things in our life have been very chaotic lately. I'll spare you the details, but let's just say that I could also send in several mother-in-law stories. With all the craziness, I forgot about my husband's birthday until I woke up the morning of his birthday. That's unfortunate. I was able to hide the fact that I forgot his birthday by saying, you'll have to wait until you get home from work for your birthday surprises. On the inside, I was panicking, knowing that I would have to throw something together on short notice. Once my husband left for work, short noticed? Words are hard. On the inside, I was panicking, knowing that I would have to throw something together on short notice. Once my husband left for work, I dashed off to our local grocery store to get all of the items to make a nice dinner. I called my parents, and his brother and invited them all over for dinner. Luckily, they could all make it, and no one gave me much grief about it being last minute, except for my mother-in-law. Shocking, I know. We live in a small town and there's only one local grocery store. I knew I wouldn't have time to bake a cake, so I went to the bakery department in the hopes that they had cakes in stock. To my dismay, they did not have any available. The only things they had were cheesecake, which my husband hates, and carrot cake. Then I noticed a shelf with 4 beautifully decorated cakes on them. Oh no, I think I know where this is going. Oh no. Apparently, these were the pre-ordered custom cakes that people had ordered and were picking them up that day. 3 of them had specific names on them, but one just said happy birthday. I'm not proud of what I did next. I looked around and made sure that the employee working in the bakery couldn't see. I grabbed the birthday cake, took off the order slip, and put it in my cart. I dashed off to the self-checkout and rang up all my groceries and left with my stolen cake. Well, clarify, you still paid for the cake. It's not stolen. It just wasn't yours. So I guess it is still stolen. This is my paid-for stolen cake. The dinner went off without a hitch, and my husband had a great evening with our family, and everyone enjoyed the cake. Even my mother-in-law complimented my choice of cake. I put on a smile, but on the inside, I felt so ashamed. I know that it was wrong, and I shouldn't have done it, and I know now the guilt is eating me up. I'm not sure that there is anything I can do to make up for it. I feel terrible that I ruined someone's birthday. I will accept my relegation to whichever Ascon planet I am sent to. Am I the astronaut? All right, Opie. You knew it was wrong. I think it was a moment of desperation here. The one part of this where I think you definitively become the asshole is that rather than flagging that employee down and saying, is there any way in hell this can happen? Is there any way in hell that you've got a cake partially prepared back there that you could whip up for this? I understand it's crazy last minute. And instead of doing that, just took the cake that was on the rack there that didn't have someone's name on it. I understand why you did what you did, and I understand that you're the astronaut for this, which I appreciate. So just being able to admit that you are gets you some points here. Not that it mattered at the time, though. Also, we're past the 50% point on our 2K high bear goal. Just an alert there. We have 980 to go. So, chat, what do you think here? Where would we go? Could have done it differently, obviously. Should have done it differently, obviously. Definitely shouldn't have done that. Agreed. Is this an evil, terrible human thing? Keep in mind, whenever whomever's cake or whoever was supposed to have that cake that got lifted, and OP paid for it at self-checkout, but it was still intended for someone else, they surely would have alerted the employee, because I don't think you're supposed to pull directly from that rack anyway, most likely. The employee would have been like, holy crap, the cake is gone. The bakery would have had to make another cake quickly for them, or repurpose cake for them. The bakery would have had to do that for them. So they may have had to stand around and wait a little bit, but they still probably got their cake. So I don't know that you ruined someone else's birthday. It's just the pain that you would have gone through if you had flagged the employee down and said, hey, is there any way in hell that this is possible? The person who you took the cake from ended up having to go through that pain because they were forced to wait for the employee to scramble to do all that. So it's beer today. That was the same freaking thought that I had. Plot twist. It was the mother-in-law had ordered that cake as a backup cake. And she's like, yeah, that's why she complimented the kind of cake that you got, because it's the exact same one that she ordered. And how cool would that have been? That would have been fantastic. Santana, yeah, you make a really good point there. The employee probably got in trouble. Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, if they made the cake and if they knew that they had put the cake there, but also most grocery stores have some kind of security footage too. So they probably were able to track this back and see who actually took it, which would have been hilarious. Yeah, we're landing on 2. You definitely shouldn't have done it. I don't think you're evil for doing it. It was a poor choice. And you know that it was a poor choice. I'm guessing whoever's birthday it was that you took the cake from, their birthday wasn't ruined. It was an inconvenience for whoever was picking up the cake. I'm sure the employee was pissed off or frustrated. I don't think this is something they would get fired for because they had fulfilled that. The OP took the fulfillment ticket off of it, and may have just left it behind right then. So then the ticket's there. Clearly the cake has been lifted. They can go back and look at the footage and see who took it, but they still paid for it. So it's a mess. It's obviously a mess, but it would have been so much fun if it was the cake that the mother-in-law ordered. And she was like, I have been looking for that. You know, I went to pick up my cake today at the bakery and they said that someone had stolen that cake. And it looked just like this one. That would have been funny as hell. It would have been good. Police come to the door. We want the cake. Getting 86 at your own local grocery store banned. It's got like a poster on the front door moving forward that she can't go to the only grocery store they have in the area. Yeah, that would have been fantastic. Be like, oh, the cake is halfway eaten now. Man.
I feel bad for the bakery employee.
Yeah.
Because hopefully it wasn't a Karen that showed up there, but if it was and the cake was not there, can you imagine the how that went?
Well, if it was the mother-in-law, it sounds like it would have been a Karen and she would have caused a massive fit. But if it was mother-in-law,
if
mother-in-law would have showed up.
The mother-in-law would have made a point at the dinner to her and been like, wow, I see you got this cake.
Where did you get this cake
Isn't
from?
that a coincidence? Because that's the cake I ordered because I knew you forgot.
Oh, man.
Like, I feel like she would have rubbed it in her face. But I feel bad for the employee because he probably got yelled at.
Well, either way, I mean, either they had the pain of having to deal with a disgruntled customer who showed up to pick up the cake that they had ordered, and now the cake is gone, or they got in trouble for management, or either way, the employee is the one that experienced some pain here, and whoever was supposed to get that cake experienced some pain by having to wait or to come back later or do something. So you punted pain to someone else, and that's what makes you the asshole here. It sucks. I mean, it's good. It sucks. I get it, but it sucks. Man. It's could have gone so many funny ways, though. If mother-in-law was the Karen that showed up looking for that cake, pitched a big old fit until they made her one and gave it to her, and it was an identical cake, and she showed up with that cake, and there were two identical cakes sitting right next to each other, that would have been so epic. It would have been fantastic. So, it was a weird time in my life, but when I was a kid, late teens, I worked in one of the grocery stores around here. And beyond being like a cashier and a bagger boy and that kind of thing, I wanted to get into some other departments. And the one that had an opening that they suggested that I get into was the bakery. So I worked in the bakery for a while, wearing white pants that were definitely see-through. Had to be very careful about what skibbies I wore when I went to work, and had the white apron, baked French bread. Had to attempt to learn to be able to write on cakes. I wasn't the cake person. The very, very sweet older gals who worked during the day were the cake people, and they normally had everything done. But every once in a while, somebody would show up and be like, "We need this name added or this name fixed." And I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I had to force myself to get ready for that. There are no photos from that time in my life. Don't worry. What? It was shitty. Yeah. Whatever I wrote on the cake. Just because my handwriting is bad doesn't mean my icing writing is bad. I don't appreciate your lack of confidence, Candy Thunder.
Someone said they were confused that there were other people in the room. There's a whole team.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of people in the room. Yeah, we've got a whole team rocking here. There are, heck, I don't even. Well, 6 other people in the room right now, and a couple
Candy
of left
and I just
recently.
got this really awesome Christmas present of this microphone, so I could be like the voice of God. And
yeah,
it's the best Christmas present we've ever got.
Hey, you've used it multiple times today, and it just tickles my heart. Okay, we're at 1320 of 2K on the high bear goal right now. Now, if somebody had stolen my cake and I showed up and the cake that I had ordered and confirmed and needed to be there, and I was in a time crunch, and somebody, I felt the brunt of that inconvenience, I'd be pissed. Certainly would be pissed. It would be a bigger deal to me then than it is for me reading now. Cake villain origin story. For sure. Okay, so we are ready for story number 3, correct? Normal story number 3. Okay. All right, we're going to jump over back to our regularly scheduled stories here. This is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, "Am I the Astronaut for Firing My Babysitter?" What's going on? What's going on over there? Playing the steel drums?
We're thinking about the beach.
Yeah, it's beach thoughts going on here. It was pretty loud. It's the sound of Candy Thunder's Diet Coke crisply opening. Am I the astronaut for firing my babysitter? Every Friday evening, my husband and I, 29 male and 29 female, hire the same babysitter, 18 female, to watch our 3 boys, 3, 5, and 7, while we go out for a date night. For the most part, she has been great. Shows up on time, the boys love her, and they typically just hang out at home and watch a movie. This past Friday, she had come a bit early, and I told her that she could take the boys out to the neighborhood playground since they were being pretty rambunctious. The neighborhood playground is maybe a 3-minute walk from our house. It's small, but the boys enjoy it. She texted me an hour or so after we left and said she was taking the boys to the park. I thanked her for telling me and went back to enjoying my evening out with my husband. When we got home, she gave us the regular report, telling us they were well behaved and had their dinner. And as she and I were in the middle of talking, my 5-year-old bounced up to me and told me they had gone to a different park that was a 10-minute drive away. This girl doesn't have a car. Oh, as a parent, yeah, there are some definite red flags right there. We didn't leave her car seats. I looked at her and she told me that her dad had driven them there since in his car, since there were no other kids at the neighborhood playground. I was immediately irate. I don't know her father or if he had seats for the boys. I hadn't known where they had gone or have been asked if she could take the boys to this park. I paid her for her time and told her this would be the last time she babysit my children. The girl's father has called me and told me I'm an astronaut for firing her for something as small as taking the boys to a park and called me a controlling helicopter parent. My husband and I think we made the right call. Am I the astronaut? Reminder, these kids are 3, 5, and 7. It's not the 80s anymore. Babysitter's dad, it's not the 80s anymore. It's not, you can't just like throw a bunch of kids in the back of a station wagon and let them roll around as you go across town. Beyond that, even if it was the 80s and you didn't have to have the kind of booster seats and car seats that you do need to have now, you sure as shit have to communicate with the parent of a child if you are taking them somewhere that is not someplace they've been before, not someplace that you had clearance to take them ahead of time. You have to communicate those kind of things. What if something happens? What if they need to quickly find their children? They have no idea where they are. It sounds like, now to be fair, I don't know how the babysitter's dad got involved with all of this. Shit went sideways when he showed up, right? Maybe this was his suggestion and he showed up and he's like, hey, let's go do this. And she's like, yeah, but we don't have car seats. And he's like, it'll be fine. Because as soon as there was a problem, he called up OP here and said that she was being a helicopter parent controlling asshole. So he's clearly a source of a lot of problems here. But it doesn't matter. There's no separation between this girl and her dad. She knows. She's babysat for them for a long time. If they were going somewhere different, she knows that she should have communicated that. She's smart enough to do that. She's 18, unless dad just convinced her not to. Either way, as a parent, I would be absolutely on fire. On fire. And if this dad had called me up, telling me I'm a controlling helicopter parent asshole, we'd have had words. We would have met at a park and had some words. Not okay. You abused the freedom that you had, so you don't have it anymore. It's as simple as that. NTA, OP. NTA. Sarcastic Unicorn, yeah, agreed. It's called respect. They definitely needed to update the person if anything in the plans changed. Yes. This one was from the AITA subreddit, not a follower submission. So OP being in chat is unlikely. CPS call for sure. I don't know. I mean, as a parent, if you had a sitter who did that, I think calling CPS is dangerous for you as a parent, right? I mean, you definitely don't let those people around your kid again. Kiba, Lacey, Lex, Nancy, thanks so much for the love there. Sky Skyblade Viking with us for month 4 as a member of the Gosh Heckin' fam. Heck yeah. Laura Mills, Erica Rodriguez, Tor, Southern Country, Erica, Marianne Strait with the rose there. Thanks so much. Kit, Candace A, Chelsea Harmon, Tracy Walker, Michelle Heather, Chef Mel, Nancy, Jamie Lynn, Kimberly P, Chef Mel again, Candace A again there with a lot of high bears. Thanks so much for the love. V6, Donna DJ, Tanya D, Beth, Stacy, Melissa Roderick, Heidi J, Jamie Lynn, Angel K, Beth again there, Nikki Nicole, Only One, Shay 31. Thanks so much for the love. Greatly appreciated. Epilepsy Fighting Mama, Shaz, Oro T-Bird. Thanks so much for the love there. Greatly appreciate it. We are at 1461 of 2K on that high bear goal right now. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and bebop on to the next story here. Oh, no. I just now hit the record button.
I need to start making that text bigger too.
No. It's okay. We can pull the stream file from TikTok and we'll just edit that. It'll just have some graphics on it. The look I'm getting from Candy Thunder right now is not an everything's going to be okay look. I'm sorry. I've disappointed the team here.
As your video editor is looking at you.
Yeah, everybody, here. Hold on. Everybody hold their pose real quick. I got to show you what I'm seeing. Everybody hold their pose.
Hold the pose. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm seeing. No.
You can see a little bit of Caden. Yeah, your video editor is whipped around so fast in chairs.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. It's fine, and we'll be able to edit it. It's just not going to look as good for those few stories. Yeah, Ronnie. Looks like we get an extra 2 hours and get to hear their stories again. There you go. Go what way? Are you? That's not.
Nope. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm back here doing it. That way?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's this guy. Sorry, whenever I brought the camera back, it wasn't in the right spot. I'm just screwing everything up right now, folks. Screwing everything up. My team is just looking at my seething right now. Such utter disappointment. How big of an asshole am I for forgetting to hit the record button? Well, Dusty, let's go ahead and look at the ASCON scale here and let's talk about it. Could have done it differently, that's for damn sure. Should have done it differently, yeah. Yeah, wait, what? The 4th time? Okay. Because this is the 4th time this has happened, here's where I am. Oh, I heard you. Oh, I heard you.
I'm not going to get involved this time.
Things are going really, really well here, folks. There's a coup happening. It's a gosh heckin' mutiny up in here. Yeah. I've been it's a mutiny led by my Khaleesi, Candy Thunder here. So what the heck? Like okay. Yeah. Got the Rip and Beth going on here. All right. I'm going to rock and roll on to the next story here. Okay. This is from the AITA subreddit as well and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Refusing to Let My Parents Rename Me? What? My 15 male parents gave my sister, 16 female, brother, 13 male, and me mature names and more specifically. Water nature names. My sister is Ocean, I'm Cove, and my brother is a river. They wanted our names to have a theme without being matchy with the same initials, so we got our names. The story was told to us when we were little, and my parents were proud of the names that they gave us. Back when we were all stuck at home, my parents started to express regret about their choices for us. They actually told us over dinner one night that they wished they had given us better names and apologized for making us live with the names we were given. A few months after that apology, my mom and dad told us they wanted us to be Elizabeth, sister, James, me, and Michael, brother. Is this you, Beer, today? Did your name used to be Cove?
Yes.
Holy shit. They said since we were kids and weren't in college yet and nobody had their license, at that point it would be the best time to do it. All three of us said we didn't want to change our first names. My dad looked into whether they could do it when we said no, and all answers he got pointed to were a very strong no. But it was also unusual to change your older kid's first name, so they went ahead and tried anyway. But once we were asked if we wanted different names, they were told no. My parents brought it up to us a lot afterward. My brother asked why they wanted to name him Michael and said the name was crappy. They told him Michael was a timeless name that would age well and give him some nickname choices. He said he hated it, so they asked if he would consider Charles instead, which he said was an even bigger no. Our parents focused really hard on him for a while because he had asked the question about the name, so they figured he was the most open. So far, none of us have agreed to the name change. I told my parents that I know they regret the names, but we're all used to and like our names and don't want to go for more boring and common names. My parents argued that in the future we will regret it and we'd have to pay for it ourselves when we're adults, and we realize having weird names does not age well. I asked why they can't just let us get there if we ever do. They said we should be thinking more of our futures, and they accused me of having a really bad attitude because I said James was as bad to me as Cove is to them now. They told me to look online, and I did, and I saw a lot of hate for our names. But I told them it still didn't change my mind. Where did you find a lot of hate for your names? My parents said we should all respect them enough as parents to allow this, and that we're all being disrespectful. Am I the astronaut? Hell no, you're not being the astronaut. Your parents are being extremely disrespectful to you as individuals. You are 15, 16, and 13. Why the hell would you let your kid grow up to become a teenager, to accept who they are as an individual, and then be like, we'd like to change you? And to OP's point here, let them get to that point. If they get to the point where they want to change their names, let it be their choice. Why are you waiting until they're teenagers to be like, yes, we want to change your names? Let them make the crap bag and Princess Consuela banana hammock choice if they ever want to at that point in life. Let it be their choice. They like their names. Why are you trying to change them? And if this was going to be a thing that you did, you should have done it way sooner. Waiting till a kid is in their freaking teens? What are you going to... Kid's going to show up to school one day and be like, yeah, I'm not Cove anymore. I'm James or Michael or whatever. That's going to make things way more weird and painful for them than leaving them the way they are now. Who gives a shit if somebody doesn't like their name? As long as the person who has the name likes it, that's all that matters. Why are these parents caring so much about what other people think? I just don't understand. I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't love the names we chose for our kids, and you know how many shits I give? This many. None. Don't care. If someday our kids decide they don't like their names and they want to change them, cool. Do what you want, man. But you don't let a kid get comfortable with who they are and then try to rip that rug out from underneath them at 16, 15, or 13. You just don't do it. And them placing the opinions of strangers over the wishes of their children says to me that they are asshat shitbag parents. Bigger assholes than that guy who forgot to hit the record button for the fourth time, for darn sure. Don't me. No, for real. This was intentional. This is intentional. You know what? I'm gonna send them all the way up to here to ask on one because this is malicious. This You guys gave me a round of applause for choosing an ASCON rating, but you ready to burn me at the stake for forgetting to hit the freaking record button?
Now you're catching her.
What kind of fickle audience is this? I did my...
Did it. Good job.
You're proud that I hit the button? All right, stop recording. Now, boop. This is malicious. This is them giving more shits about what strangers think than for their own kids' feelings or who their kids are as individuals. They let them become cove, ocean, and river, and then they're like, yeah, we don't like who you are. We don't like how people on the internet talk about your name, so we're going to completely change them. No, you're not. Or make a deal here, OP, and be like, okay, we will only change our names to the names that you want us to have if you, father, become Crapbag, and you, mother, become Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, because people on the internet don't really like your names either. It's all fair, right? It's all fair. Are you cold and cranky, Tony Spartan? I don't know. It's a freaking revolt. Something's in the water. I don't know. Huh? Someone else asked if...
They said they were 35, but they wanted us to...
You want to come hang out at the office and be part of the peanut gallery that roasts me during live streams? We should start selling tickets for that kind of thing. It's like those restaurants you go to be mistreated. You know, where the servers are just like mean to you on purpose. That's like me on live streams now. Good gravy. Kara's my current like camera focus. Is it off? It's on a fixed focus. It might have gotten jacked up. The roasting sessions. There you go. My goodness. Okay, 1561 and 2K on the high bear goal right now, which again is going to unlock another spicy reward story and Candy Thunder feedback. So we're going to dive over to our next story here. This one actually comes from the Dusty Thunder subreddit, and it's titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Forgiving My Soon-to-Be Stepdaughter for Stealing? Ah, crap. Christmas Karen. The first baby born on the Mayflower was named Ocean. That's cool. Ms. HH, yes. The Dusty Thunder live stream is filmed in front of a live studio audience. I did that 30 seconds ago.
What's a really good story?
Okay, so Tony Sparks says it's a really good story, so he wants me to plug the gift goal again. 1581 of 2K. We only need, we're at 80%, so we need we need 400 flat now. Candy Thunder's all riled up. Yeah, let's give her something to focus her ire at instead of me. I love you too. Okay, here we go. This one is from the Dusty Thunder subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Forgiving My Soon-to-Be Stepdaughter for Stealing? I, 41 female, and my fiance, 45 male, have been together going on 5 years. He has 3 kids from his previous marriage, 10-year-old, 16-year-old female, and 19-year-old. The kids and I hit it off from the start. Me and the middle daughter, I will call her Jay, became very close. We talked about everything and had a mutual love and respect for each other. Over the years, there had been some things happen that caused trust issues between Jay and her parents. Because of that, wait, hold on, and her parent. Okay, I'm with you now. Over the years, there had been some things happen that caused trust issues between Jay and her parents. Because of that, they would not let her have a cell phone. As imagined, that did not go over well with her. And she is the middle one. 16? Yeah, 16. 16-year-old didn't have a phone. Okay. February 2023, Jay was caught with a phone. My fiance told her to give it to him, which she never did, and he never followed up. She eventually told him she gave it back to the classmate who had given it to her. Again, he never verified that was true. In April, he walked in her room in our house and caught her with it. So they first caught her in February and then again in April. He finally took it. I was away for work from March through June, and when I returned, I asked her where the phone was. As soon as he gave it to me, I asked, where the phone was. Words are hard. I'm really falling apart right now, guys. I'm sorry. I was away for work from March through June, and when I returned, I asked where the phone was. As soon as he gave it to me, I was floored. It looked just like my previous phone. I had kept it because it had years worth of messages and pics on it from my brother who had passed away in 2020. His death broke me, and I clung to anything that came from him. When the phone turned on, there was my background picture of my brother. She had stolen my phone. I was hysterical, trying to check if she had deleted my stuff off the phone. About 10 minutes later, I finally found out that thankfully she hadn't. Then the anger set in. She knew why I kept that phone, yet she still took it, knowing she could lose it or even break it, and I would have lost all those years of memories. Afterwards, everything went back to normal for her. There was never a punishment from either parent, no repercussions for what she had done. It's now January 2024, and I have still never received an apology from her. Honestly, at this point, I don't want to, because I know it would just be lip service. It wouldn't mean anything to me anymore. I don't look at her the same now. I don't enjoy being around her like I used to. I definitely don't trust her. I'm still angry and hurt, and I don't forgive her, especially since she never showed the slightest bit of remorse for what she did. So, am I the astronaut for not forgiving and moving on like it never happened? Edit to add, 1, for those worried about her not having a phone, she has had a tablet that she can text and make calls on for years now. So what's the difference between that and a phone? I'm assuming that the phone that she stole didn't have a SIM card. It was Wi-Fi only, so she was using it just like a tablet. I don't understand. She is not cut off or going without communication from her friends or family. She also has access to some social medias. She does have parental mode on the tablet, and going by past issues, she needs it. Okay, there it is. 2, I have tried multiple times to talk with her. Each time I was met with no acknowledgement and silence aside from a yeah when I asked if she understood why I was upset. But I'm going to try to talk with her again so we can try to get past this. 3, I have not banished her from my life. I'm still with her every visit. We eat together, talk, and watch TV. We even joke around and laugh some, but the closeness that we used to have is gone. I love her, but for now, there is zero trust. Hey, we got there on the high bear goal. Let's go ahead and go through that, and then Candy Thunder, is your feedback going to be on the spicy story, or do you want to jump up here for this one, or both? Okay, well, we're going to thank our gifters here real quick. Callie Prue leading the board here. Michelle Heather, Hostile Cakes, TLS Journey, Hostile Cakes. I'm not sure if I do like it. I do like it. TLS Journey, Southern Country, Just Beth 72, Suanne 257, Gabby Valencia, Overkill Mill, Modern Valkyrie, Animal 792, Prep Girl, Kimberly P, Amber L. Hickey, Nika Nicole, Tony Sparks with the save here, Hazel Love, Jade, Jade Rayola, Tanya Kays, Bobby Joe Crossno, Heather Grimes, Tony Spark, Candy Thunder, Joyful Stranger, Tanya D, aka T, TF90, Not That Ellen, Uppity, N.M. Bracker, Rebecca Barrett, Cass Dragon, Rainfalls, Lacey Lex, Ron Brenza, Tassie Queenie, Bama Chef Mel, OMG Cookies, The Real RP2, Ruby Redhead, Piotr Nadia, K Crush, Miss Pamela L, Pam K, Nancy Gen X, Donna 12661, Sharon Day Newton, Fang Long Talon, and Diana 5520. Thanks for the save there, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for helping us hit that goal. We are going to get our next one set up here, and the next one is for confetti and the helmets. We haven't seen the helmet in a hot minute. It's going to be a thing. Okay, confetti and helmet. It's an astronaut helmet. The astronaut helmet. We have 500 donuts to get us there. Okay, so let's talk about the story for a second. Oop, let me hit that and pin it. Oh dear, I'm hitting the wrong button. There we go. We already got a bunch of those donuts coming in there. Heck yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up talking about this story. So the question on this story is, am I the astronaut for not forgiving my soon-to-be stepdaughter for stealing? she's 16. You've been with your fiance for 5 years, so you've known this girl since she was 11. I don't think you can be the astronaut for not forgiving her because she hasn't asked for forgiveness yet. I think the difference here is you're hurt by this clearly, personally, but also I think if you are going to be a functional parent for this girl as well, there has to be. I'm not saying that you trust her. I'm not saying that that you give trust freely, because I am a believer that trust has to be earned. It should not just be given freely. You don't owe anyone your trust. But I think building a path to reestablish that as a parent would be a good thing. I think working on rebuilding and making this a teaching moment is what the parental role needs to be here. I understand that you're hurt. I understand that you're offended. I understand that this is one of your core memories that was put at risk here. And clearly she did not respect that at all. And I understand how pissed off you are about that. But you also have a responsibility to be a teacher to this child. And she is still a child. So teach her how it was wrong. Teach her how to respect other people's memories about people that they've lost. Teach her something that can be of value for her to carry with her moving forward. And yeah, she needs to regain that trust. And that's one of the things she needs to be taught right now too, is that trust isn't free. You don't go to a vending machine and just hit a button and get trust. And when you break the trust that you did have with someone, it takes some pain and some time to gain it back. This is what happens in life whenever you break someone's trust. And this is how hard it is to gain back. But I'm going to help show you how to do that and then how to avoid getting into this kind of situation in the future, because it's painful to rebuild it. That's my thought here. You're not the astronaut for not forgiving her, but I also think there's another layer to this where it has to be used as a teaching moment. There you go. Sorelia says forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. You're not going to forget this. And I think that's one of the lessons you've got to teach her as well, is that, yes, you can earn back my trust. I can forgive you for this over time, but you also, I'm going to remember this forever. And when you do something like this to someone, they will carry that scar with them forever. There is, I think one of the most impactful sayings that I've learned since starting to do these stories in these videos was, the tree remembers what the axe forgets. And that is perfectly applicable here. Whenever you are the person inflicting harm, it doesn't mean as much to you as it does to the person that you do harm to. And they are going to carry that with them forever. It sounds like there still is love. It doesn't sound like she hates her now. It doesn't sound like she doesn't love her anymore. But there's this is a deep trust break. House of Snorts with us for month 1 as a member of the Got Checkin' fam. Heck yeah. Jenny resubbing to become a member of the Got Checkin' fam again. Heck yes. Love seeing that. Did you want to jump in and say some stuff about this? Or are you ready for the spicy story? You're ready for the spice, Candy Thunder. Yes. Okay. Candy Thunder says she agrees with me here. Ms. Pamela L., that's one of the things I thought about as well. I'm like, man, if you have these core memories, leaving them on a physical device and a physical device only scares the ever-loving shit out of me. Back that stuff up. Put it on the cloud. Because guess what? Freaking tornado, hurricane, something comes through, that house burns down, and your memories are gone? Back it up. What'd you say?
Dusty Spice.
Dusty Spice? That's my Spice Girl name. Dusty Spice. Yeah.
You really went for it on that one.
There's some screaming going for it. Wow. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the spicy reward story number 2, correct? Spicy number 2.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the curry order. You want a spicy number 2? Spicy number 2 at, Kinnery Thai Cuisine. It's my jam. Okay. Tree remembers what the axe forgets. Yeah. That's one of the things that I've carried with me from one of the earliest streams that we did. It makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, here we go. The spicy reward story where Candy Thunder's going to jump in and give some feedback here as well. This is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Asking My Wife to Actually Do Some Housework While She's at Home? This is gonna be fun. Okay. I've got my brozo trigger finger just like ready here. I'll wait, but I'm ready. Throwaway count as I don't want to clog up my main. Clog it up. Yep. I, 35 male, have been with my wife, 29 female, for 6 years, married for 2 years. She's been off work the past month or so and will be for the next few months. We agreed that while she was off work, she would do 90% of the housework as I work an 8 to 5 job. Over the past 2 weeks, she has been giving me excuse after excuse as to why things like laundry aren't done, the bathroom isn't clean, and dinner hasn't been done. Some days she barely gets out of bed and her house looks like a right state. I'm embarrassed when my parents come over as my mom keeps her house spotless. Last week, after I came home to only a fraction of the chores being done, I asked my wife if she was planning on actually doing the things she promised me she would do. She snapped at me, saying it had been a bad day and I could be a bit more sympathetic. I pointed out that she said when she went off work that she was going to do the housework while I was at work. It's not difficult, as both my mom and my sister can easily keep their houses clean and tidy. Oh, boy, you're just heading in the right direction. You're not saying anything wrong at all, OP. Nothing. My wife blew up at me and said that I was being completely unreasonable. She went to stay with her parents, both of whom have been texting me and calling me an asshole since. My parents and my sister both think I'm justified for reacting like this. So, am I the astronaut? Oh, I see it in bold here and I knew it was coming. Edit, because I've already had people ask for more info. She's off work because she's 38 weeks pregnant with our first child. I don't see this as an excuse because all the women in my family have worked up until their due dates and managed to keep their homes tidy. Why can't my wife? Dude, okay, there's a lot of comments on here. So let's just go ahead and get a couple things out of the way right now. Dude is a brozo. I don't know if this is brainwashing that comes from his mother into like the expectations that this guy has coming into a marriage that his mother has given him, or this worldview. This is a collision of worldviews that do not align, and this is not going to end well. He gets this as well. He gets the ask on one because this is truly just maybe not. I think it's a mixture actually of being malicious and ignorant. This is malicious negligence. If there's such a thing. What the hell, man? I knew as soon as I started reading, and I haven't read the story, I'm like, oh yeah, why's she been off work for that amount of time? What? Yeah, something medical, something changed, clearly. No, she's 38 weeks pregnant, and you're expecting her to get up and Cinderella her ass the whole freaking day. Cool, dude. Cool. Man, you're going to be a great partner to raise a baby with, you jackhole. Oh my God. Okay. OP comments. I'm working 5 days a week and bringing home our only wage. And all I ask is that my wife contribute in the house I worked hard to buy. Well, she just went off work, right? She just went on. He's the only one who's done the work though. Why wouldn't I be serious? Women all over the world are able to keep a home while pregnant. I don't see why she's any different. She's not struggling with her mental health. She lives in a nice home and has nice things I've worked for. Well, that equates to mental health, doesn't it? All I ask is that the house I worked hard for is clean and tidy. How am I being unrealistic? My sister had a baby last year and was able to keep her home looking presentable. All I ask my wife is for her to do the same. She's at home all day, so surely she has the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring up for some feedback here a likely spicy edition of Candy Thunder. Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder!
No, I'm not going to be too spicy. I'm just kidding. No, I read this story and I was like, this makes me like remember that I need to take care of this man because I am fucking lucky. Because this is what's out there. These are the Brads. These are the Chads. This is an asshole. Like, not every pregnancy is the same. This woman is obviously struggling. She can't even bend over. She's 38 freaking weeks pregnant. You cannot touch the floor. And who's messing up the house if she's in bed all day? It sounds like it's this guy, or it sounds like their house is probably fine, and he's being unrealistic. Completely unrealistic. I do not like this guy. This is like, if I had married the asshole, this is what your life would be like. And if this is your husband, you can do better. Sorry.
So I think that clearly this isn't right, and clearly
Wait,
this is not the partner mentality. This is one of my biggest problems with that is that it's not a, hey, we can do this, we can keep this thing tidied up while you're home with this. This is a zero sympathy for what she's dealing with her pregnancy, first of all, but him not being willing to help in any way, shape, or form, and just laying all that responsibility on her is the biggest sign of he has no intention of approaching this like a partner, which is the biggest red flag, because you guys are getting ready to raise a tiny human together. And that requires more teamwork than any time in your life.
Right? And your house is going to get freaking destroyed.
Yes.
Give it 6 months. Your house is going to be taken over by baby stuff. But also, do you know what I did the last week of my pregnancy? Nothing. Not a damn thing. This man right here, and it doesn't make him weak. It doesn't make him anything other than an amazing human being, because he took care of me and he took care of our baby. And fuck this guy. Grow a pair and take care of your freaking wife while she grows your human for you to make a family. Don't tell her she needs to sit at home and clean your house because you were working from 9 to 5. I'm sorry, you have no idea what it's like for your body to not be your own. And that just pisses me off.
I imagine that growing a human inside of you is pretty hard work. I've never done it.
And you know what? Some women go through pregnancy and it's so easy. My first pregnancy, really not that bad. It was enjoyable. My labor was so easy. With Navy, complete opposite. I was in pain almost my entire pregnancy. I couldn't breathe the last month.
That's because she's half my child, too.
She's half ASCON 3, like from the get-go. But I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even, like, walking to the car was hard for me. And it wasn't because I had gained so much weight. It was just like where she was at. It was hard. And they were same person, completely different pregnancies. And this guy has no idea how hard life is going to be once that baby comes home. And she already left, and I hope that she has the baby and stays away, because this guy will not help her one bit.
Well, she did leave?
Yeah, she went to stay with her parents.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like, oh, wait, what? Yeah. And that's the most painful part about all of this is that, yes, whenever they have the baby, it's going to be the hardest time in both of their lives.
Right.
And you both need each other. And discovering that you don't have a partner, I mean, this can't be the first sign. It can't be the first sign.
But she was working before.
Well, yeah, but still.
And she went on maternity leave, and so it's like she's now responsible for like wiping your ass. I mean, come on. Like, no, you're a human too. You can help her when she's laid up, whatever. I don't know what the word is.
I think that I hope, if you guys push forward here, no pun intended, but if you guys push through this, I hope that he gets some time to have to be the stay-at-home parent for a while, taking care of a baby at several different points in this child's development, because I think that's one of the best ways for a dad to be able to see that staying home is work. Like, it is work. It is not easy. Hey, likes goal hit. Heck yeah, guys.
Yay.
Good job. Saw something bright red flashing out of the corner of my eyes. I'm like, what in the world? That is... Yeah. It is a lot of work, and you have to understand that it's not easy to do that job and the other jobs of the chore side of homemaking at the same time. It is not easy. And if you want to do that, it takes a lot of structure, and it takes both of those partners helping each other out. It takes that. That's what it takes. And if you want your home to be tidy and spotless all the time, whenever you walk in the door, you're going to have to get your dickheaded brain into action and actually do some things to facilitate making that easier instead of just bitching about it, because guess what? That's not a solution. Bitching about it is not a solution. If you want something, contribute to making it happen.
This man is currently cleaning out Navy's closet and dresser and reorganizing the whole thing.
Here's the deal.
Just because. And I didn't ask him to do it. He just jumped in and did it because everything was overflowing. But that's not the point. This guy, when you post AITA stories and you look at the OP's comments, like, you can tell when someone is willing to accept advice or criticism. And this guy just doubles down in the comments.
How am I being unrealistic?
Yeah, he's not even, like, why post here if you're not even going to listen to the advice that you receive back? Like, you were looking like you were looking for someone to tell you that you're doing the right thing, and you clearly did not get that. So instead, you're just going to be like, you guys are all wrong and I'm the right person.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
only my opinion matters. Well, that's great. You can be single and your opinion can matter to yourself.
And for my explanation here, I accepted a long time ago that like I have some anxiety that's triggered by like mess or clutter, and I accepted that that's a me thing. And if you have a you thing, like this is a him thing, then it's on you to take action for that thing. You cannot place the weight of a you-ism on someone else. If you have an issue, and like the Navy's closet is in the home office at work, which is a space that I want to sit in and be very, very like clear focused on. And I recognized that there was something there that I wanted to change, and I jumped on it for
And
me.
it's amazing. It
Because
looks
it's
so
a me,
good.
it's a me thing though. Like I'm doing it selfishly. There's no denying that. And for him, he is wanting something selfishly. He should be willing to also jump in and do the work for it. It's still selfish because it's fulfilling his needs. But he would actually be contributing to it somehow, and he's not. And that's the part that pisses me off. It's like you want your needs, you've got your things that you want, but you're putting all of the work for those things on someone else. Go fuck yourself. Sorry, bleep that out, whoever's editing.
There's a lot of F-bombs that are going to get bleeped out
Sorry.
of the story. I know when I
Sorry.
post this, there's going to be this whole thing, people who are like, my pregnancy was easy. I kept a house. I did all of this crap. That's good for you. If that's what you chose to do, great. That's clearly not the case for her. So, that's going to make me mad. And people are going to call him weak for being there for me. And those people can fuck right off.
I don't give a shit.
I know that's going to happen.
I would have to spend all day in bed after eating Taco Bell for a night. Like I get it. Growing a human inside would be really, really difficult. And that, yeah, I think
Yep.
not you, but like you as the man in this situation, I felt like my duty was to care for you while we were, preparing to have a baby. Like it was to make that as easy for you as possible. And then once Navy was here, it was to make, caring for her as easy as possible for the two of us. Obviously it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
as soon as
freaking
Navy was here, he was
difficult.
like, go away. You're done. You no longer matter.
It's
I'm
not
just
the
kidding.
truth.
I'm just
So there's another
No.
comment from OP that somebody asked him on the story. They said, "Do you also expect this once the child arrives?" Because that was right after the "How am I being unrealistic?" So then he said, "Yes. Why wouldn't I? We are planning to hire a nanny so my wife can return to work when she's able to. Once she's back at work, she can split her time between work and the house. If that doesn't work, then we can hire a cleaner. So why don't you just hire a fucking cleaner now
Right.
and do it?"
Or I love how this is. She can work and also clean house.
Not him.
At what point in time
so why
is
can't
he
you
going to do
work
some
and clean
work
house
here?
if you
Yeah.
expect her to work and clean house
great.
and take care of the baby
It's great.
and to recover from having a baby?
Guys,
If there's
And that's
something
okay.
you want, you have to be willing to do at least part of the work to make that thing happen.
The 1950s called it. It wants you back. I'm sorry.
Good
You're being
gravy.
completely unrealistic.
Well,
She wouldn't have been working in the 1990s.
that's right. She
true.
wouldn't have been working.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
80s called. They want you back.
So the unfortunate part about all this, well, one of the unfortunate parts is that this is going to lead to a divorce because she has enough self-respect to have already walked away at this point and be staying
Right.
with someone else. And he's willing to treat her this shitty at 38 weeks pregnant. This is not going to end with them being a kumbaya happy fucking family. This is going to end in disaster. And now,
This is someone who was taught that everything has to be 50-50. You can never take. Sometimes
No,
he'll
right.
carry 90% of the load and I'll carry 10 and vice versa. Sometimes he has to come home and sleep for 3 hours because he's absolutely exhausted and I'll handle everything else. And this guy was, if you're not doing this, then I'm not doing this. There's no, let me take this burden off your back because clearly you're going through something. It's just, you have to do this because that's your job. This is 50%. I'm going to contribute financially, but I'm not going to do anything else
Yeah.
because I'm giving you money. You therefore have to clean my house.
right. And his views of even the percentages are askew because he views caring,
Childcare.
yeah, well, growing a baby and caring for everything at home at 38 weeks pregnant as 50%, while him just going and clocking in at 8 a.m., clocking out at 5 p.m. just happens to somehow be the same amount of effort.
Where I do both. I work and stay home with Navy. And when I stay home with Navy, 100 times harder than it is to come to the office and do my job. 100 times, if not 1,000 times harder, just because your time is not your own. With you, you can have your own time. You can work at your own pace. And when you're home with kids, it's at their pace.
You can use the bathroom by yourself here. Most of the time. I feel like we can't tell.
Go to work for a break. Yes, sweet Caroline. That's. Oh no.
No,
no, we can't.
It's such
tell
a good
that.
story.
We can tell it
someday.
in the VIP live.
Yeah, there we go. We'll tell that story in the VIP live. Yeah, this sucks, and it's super unfortunate that it's at this point. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and let's give some thanks for our last.
Stepping up.
Love you, Tater. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving spicy feedback here. I think we needed to hear Candy's feedback there too, just because you see it from different perspectives, and I know that some people, not just men, but some people, period. Obviously, OP's mother and sister both agreed that way, so it's just the worldview they were brought up with. But it's so unfair to your partner, and it leads to this structure where it's not a partnership at all. Also, I'd be really interested to hear if OP's dad and OP's sister's partner pitch in any way, shape, or form, or if they're the same jackholes like he is.
This is like the guy later on in the pregnancy that was like the one that wouldn't let her get an epidural.
Right, yeah.
This is the
yeah.
guy. This is
You have to have a natural labor. I'm sorry. Everyone else in my family did it. You can do it too. Yeah.
I also like how it's just that little, I guess I should add some more.
Good gravy. Sweet K84, Pirate Pups, Theo Dino Rex, TLS Journey, Southern Country, El Marine 98, Curve 611, Amber L. Hickey, Prep Girl, Tony Spark, Bailey Chapman, Just Beth 72, Callie Prue, Lisa Watson, Uppity, Tony Spark with the save here, Classic Anime Queen, Diana 5520, Lurker of the Shadows, Nancy Gen X, Capricorn Girl, Ann Imbrecker, Purple 67 Kez, Not That Ellen, Lad Willow, Alicia Suver, D Trucker, AIs, Nadia, Jenny Richardson, Snowman Collector, Rainfalls, Me Doing Me, Brittany, Brittany Howard, Frank Gomez, Little Princess, Overkill Mill, Fell Hermit Fairy, and Lacey Lex. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. I am going to set the next one up so we flow it over into VIP. The VIP live is going to get started shortly here. Oh, I'm going to do this with the outro on. I'm going to do this with the outro on. I'm going to do the outro with this on. Oh yeah, we'll close it partially. Close it partially there. Okay, the next one that we're going to set up just to flow into VIP is a just because, but we're going to do it. I can't even type with this thing on. Not like it affects my hands in any way, but, you know. So if you are one of the members of the Storm, VIP is going to start here in about 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to start getting set up for that. And we have something fun we want to discuss with you. Not just the funny story that I was mentioning, but we have potentially something really cool that we want to get. We have an idea. We have an idea to pitch you in VIP. We want to hear your feedback on it. That's all I can say. That's all I'm allowed to say about it. But it's an idea. My goodness. Okay, 2K Fire is it just because, but we're going to leave it set up to roll into VIP there. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Hostile Cakes, subscribe for the first time. Heck yes. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Alyssa, thank you so much for the love there. Lisa, Angel, good to see you again. I know you've been crazy busy. It's good to see your face there. I can't see your face. I'm seeing your pups, but good to see your name there. Glad you got to hang out with us for a little bit. Kelsey, Debbie, Lily, subscribe for the first time. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Yeah, you should feel really special. You're getting welcomed to the Gosh Heckin' fam with the astronaut helmet on. It's a huge deal. It's an honor, really. Theosaurus Rex, Cup of Tea Daily, Becky Houghton, Kara, Gigi Adams, Megs, 84 Nad, Mary Happy Dragons, Incast Reptiles, Elizabeth, Pamela Ford, Dana Wise, Trinity Marie, Mrs. Drex, Elizabeth again, Bazinga, Dr. Sweets, Lisa Stevenson, Pirate Pups, Mcast again there, TLS, Mcast, thank you guys so much for the love. Greatly appreciate it. Southern Country, Theosaurus Rex, Beth, the Effulgent, want to see you there as well. Tina, thank you guys so much. Funktown Ninja. Subscribe for the first time. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Glad to have you here. Lauren B, Cup of Tea Daily, Lisa Sparks. Thank you guys so much for the love. Greatly appreciated. We will see you in about 15 minutes for the VIP Live. And again, Beer Today. Happy B-Day coming up here. Lightning Bolts and happy birthday love for Beer Today in chat. You were turning how old? We talked about this. We've both lost track. 40 what? 47? I was like, what the? No way. 40, 43? 42. 43. I'm like, 47? Shit. That means I'm close to 47 too. Oh no, what happened? No. 43. 43. Happy 43rd there. The VIP is going to be on TikTok. Yep, it'll be right here, but it'll be a sub only. So if you are one of the subs as a member of the Storm here, you will get that notification, hopefully. If not, I'd say pop back to the profile here in about 15 minutes and just refresh, and it should show you if we're live. Heck yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at chat, trying to make sure I'm not missing anything there. Thank you guys again so much for being here today. It was fun, mutiny and all. So glad we got to have a good time today. And next time, I'll try to remember to hit record at the very beginning. We'll survive. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you soon. I can't hear the music, but I'm still going to dance to it. Stop recording. See, I got that part right.